Soap operas live and die on twists. Some arrive out of nowhere, blindsiding even the savviest fans. Others, they loom so large and obvious that viewers practically shout at their TVs, "Oh, come on, just do it already." That's exactly where The Young and the Restless finds itself right now. A story thread dangling in plain sight, characters circling one another like moths to a flame, and a payoff that feels not only inevitable but almost overdue. The question is, will the show actually go there, or will it pull a soap trick and swerve at the last second? Let's break down why this looming twist feels so obvious, what it could mean for Genoa City, and why fans can't stop speculating about the fallout. The setup: a story hiding in plain sight. Every soap fan knows the drill. When two characters share too many loaded glances, trade too many lines dripping with subtext, and seem to conveniently bump into each other every other scene, sparks are being tested. Writers don't waste screen time unless they're setting the chessboard. Right now, the board is crowded with characters caught between love, loyalty, and legacy. Genoa City has always thrived on rivalries and forbidden romances, but this particular twist feels like it's practically begging to be written. Think about it. There's one character clearly restless, unfulfilled, looking for someone who sees them. Another character, technically off limits, who nevertheless understands them in a way no one else does. Add in history, family ties, old grudges, business rivalries, and you've got classic Y&R fuel. The writing is on the wall, and it's written in permanent marker. Why fans are already calling it. Message boards, social media feeds, and fan groups have been buzzing for weeks. Soap watchers are sharp. They pick up on patterns, on recycled tropes, on the way a casual conversation is framed with that extra beat of silence. So when viewers start posting, if they don't hook these two up, it's a wasted opportunity. It's not just wild speculation. It's pattern recognition. Fans aren't just guessing, they're clocking the signs. Chemistry can't be faked. Whether it's subtle body language or an electric scene partner dynamic, there are pairs that just click. Actors can't manufacture the kind of tension that makes fans say, "Oh, they're totally going there." And right now, a certain pairing is giving off enough voltage to light up the whole GCAC. The writers love a forbidden angle. Young and Restless thrives when a relationship feels messy, complicated, and wrong on paper, but impossible to resist. Think Victor and Nikki in their early days. Think Nick and Phyllis. Think Sharon and Adam. The best soap couples aren't neat, they're combustible. It solves too many problems at once. Sometimes a twist is obvious because it ties together dangling storylines. That's what makes this one feel so inevitable. It could explain recent character choices, fuel rivalries, and open doors for juicy business battles. The twist in question: let's quit dancing around it. The twist everyone is whispering about is this. Claire and Kyle. Yes, that Kyle Abbott and that Claire Grace. The pairing that feels outrageous, until you realize it makes almost too much sense. Kyle's life is in chaos. A broken marriage with Summer, an ongoing battle over loyalty to the Abbott legacy, and a restless energy that screams, "Give me something new." Claire, meanwhile, is clawing her way out of a toxic past, desperate to prove she's not defined by her family's crimes. She's vulnerable yet strong, isolated yet searching for connection. Put them together and you have dynamite. Why Claire and Kyle feels inevitable. At first, the idea seems shocking. Kyle with the granddaughter of his family's greatest enemy. Claire, still proving she deserves a second chance, entangled with an Abbott heir. But that's exactly what makes it so soapy. 1. It brings history full circle. Claire is a Newman by blood, and Kyle is an Abbott. Victor versus Jack has defined Y&R for decades. A romance between these two isn't just a fling, it's a thematic echo of the rivalry that built Genoa City. It ties the next generation directly into the war their families can never seem to end. 2. It gives Kyle an edge again. Kyle has been drifting, sometimes a little smarmy, sometimes too noble, but lately directionless. Pairing him with Claire gives him a sharp edge, because it's dangerous. It would force him to decide whether he's Jack's son, playing by Abbott rules, or his own man making reckless choices. 3. It gives Claire redemption weight. Right now, Claire's redemption is internal. She's proving herself to Victoria, to Nikki, to the people she hurt. But romance complicates that. If she finds love with Kyle, suddenly her choices don't just affect her, they ripple into two dynasties. It's high stakes, which makes her redemption arc feel less tidy, more earned. The drama practically writes itself. Imagine the fallout if this obvious twist happens. Summer's fury. Kyle's ex-wife, already on edge, would see this as betrayal stacked on betrayal. The tension between her and Claire would be off the charts. Picture Summer sneering across society's dining room table, "Out of all the women in Genoa City, you chose her." Jack's dilemma. Jack loves his son, but Jack also knows better than anyone how dangerous the Newman orbit can be. Does he support Kyle's happiness, or does he try to shut the relationship down before it explodes? Victor's reaction. The mustache would never let this stand without a fight. He'd see Kyle as either a pawn to be manipulated or a threat to be neutralized. Claire's romance would test whether Victor truly believes in her second chance. Diane's machinations. Let's not forget Diane. She's always scheming to keep Kyle close and protect the Abbott image. The idea of her son with Claire Grace? Absolutely not. Diane's panic alone could drive months of story. But, what if the show swerves? Here's the rub. Because the twist is so obvious, some fans worry it's a red herring. Soap writers know viewers expect certain beats, and sometimes they pull a last-minute detour just to keep fans guessing. What if Kyle ends up back in Summer's arms after all? What if Claire's true love story is with someone entirely unexpected? Say, Noah Newman, for that neat, family reunion arc. What if the writers tease Kyle-Claire chemistry only to pivot into a business rivalry instead? It wouldn't be the first time Y&R has set up a twist only to yank it away. Why the obvious choice might be the right one. Still, sometimes the obvious move is obvious because it's the right move. Fans want payoff. They want to be rewarded for picking up on all those subtle glances and loaded lines. Teasing chemistry and never delivering is a soap sin. By leaning into Kyle and Claire, the show wouldn't just be giving fans what they expect. It would be honoring the history of the Abbotts versus the Newmans, while pushing the younger generation into new frontiers. It's messy, it's risky, it's loud, and isn't that what soaps are for? The ripple effect. Who else gets pulled in? If the twist does happen, the impact spreads far beyond just Kyle and Claire. Phyllis would leap at the chance to weaponize the romance against both Diane and Summer. Victoria would be caught between supporting her daughter's redemption and protecting Newman Enterprises from Abbott interference. Ashley might even weigh in, seeing shades of her own forbidden romances in her nephew's choices. And of course, Nikki, who suffered directly at Jordan's hands, would struggle to accept that her granddaughter's path to healing runs straight through the Abbott mansion. It's a storyline with tentacles, touching nearly every corner of Genoa City. The soapy, sweet spot. At its best, The Young and the Restless thrives in that sweet spot between the personal and the epic. A romance that feels intimate, character-driven, yet loaded with generational baggage. Kyle and Claire check every box. Forbidden, check. Rootable despite the odds, check. Drama-rich with endless fallout, double check. And maybe most importantly, it makes fans feel something, whether that's rooting for them, dreading the chaos, or shouting, "No, Kyle, don't do it," from their couches. So, will it happen? Here's the honest truth. It almost has to. The show has laid too much groundwork, leaned too heavily on those simmering beats, for this to be pure coincidence. Maybe it won't happen tomorrow. Maybe not even next month. But soaps love the slow burn, and if Kyle and Claire aren't endgame, they're at least a stop along the way to Genoa City's next great scandal. The only real risk, that the writers chicken out, leaving fans to say the dreaded phrase, "Oh, come on." Final word. Soaps are built on risk, payoff, and the thrill of the inevitable. The Kyle-Claire twist feels so obvious because it's juicy, because it's messy, because it ties past and present into one combustible package. It's not just a twist, it's the kind of storyline that could define Young and Restless for the next year. And if it doesn't happen, well, don't blame the fans for rolling their eyes and saying, "Oh, come on."